Well, something big is brewing behind closed doors in Washington, and it's not just typical political drama. There is a fresh insider report that's fueling very intense speculation that a key figure inside of the Trump administration is quietly bleeding massive amounts of support. And all of this, by the way, is going on as tensions rise here in the US. But nonetheless, sources are claiming that this is not just a disagreement. It could be the kind of internal fracture that threatens unity at the very, very top. And now there is a rumor mill that is exploding with whispers that a major clash of loyalty is coming, that a major clash of influence is coming, and that a major clash of strategy could trigger a power shakeup unlike we've ever seen in history's past. Today, I'm going to be breaking all of that down for you, specifically what's being reported, what's being hinted at, and why the story could become one of the most destabilizing internal situations this administration has faced thus far. So stay with me. I've got a lot to share with you. But as a quick reminder, please make sure you're still subscribed to the channel and hit that like button and share this video with everybody you know. But with that, let's go directly to the source and find out who exactly is causing this drama, if you will, with Donald Trump and the administration. We'll take a look at this, and this is on the Daily Mail. And its headline, Trump turns on Pam Bondi and backs his Ice Queen's scathing assessment of her over what he sees as multiple failures. It goes on to state this. President Donald Trump has been complaining about Pam Bondi over high-profile prosecutions going off the rails and her handling of the Jeff files. The Wall Street Journal said on Monday that Trump's grievances, pointing to Bondi's failures to prosecute the president's long-term political enemies, including Comey and Loretta Lynch. Now, Trump also reportedly backed off Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, that's the Ice Queen, by the way, assessment that Bondi whiffed on the Jeff files, something Wiles told Vanity Fair in a magazine's controversial cover story last month. It goes on, since a bipartisan group of lawmakers forced the file release, Trump has continued to complain about Bondi's role in the saga, the Journal said, though he has treated her nicely when in public. Both Trump and Bondi attended last month's Kennedy Center honors, but at the same time, Bondi, for instance, was not in Florida at Trump's Mar-a-Lago press conference earlier this month, announcing the capture of Venezuela dictator Nicolas Maduro, despite the DOJ being heavily involved. So there's a lot more to this story that I have got to share with you guys. It's going to get fairly intense, by the way. But before I dive in, I want to remind you, please don't forget to check out my sponsor, Noble Gold Investments. Look, if you're over 40 and you're planning to retire someday, the window to protect what you've built may be smaller than you realize, right? Here's a question that most people never ask. Is your portfolio built for what's coming? Many investors in their 40s and 50s discover they have little to no exposure to precious metals. That means their savings are largely tied to markets and to policies and even to paper assets with very little protection if conditions change. Well, as retirement moves, from someday to on the horizon, protecting what you've already built becomes just as important as growing it. And that's where Noble Gold Investments really comes in and why I have partnered with them. You see, they help investors reduce risk by adding physical gold to their profile, even silver. You can add that to your profile as well. And right now may be the best time to talk to somebody at Noble Gold Investments. If you're interested, give them a call at 1-877-646-5347. They are no pressure, no sales gimmicks, just real clear answers and a strategy that is built around you. And by the way, if you do call them, don't forget to mention my name because they are giving away this 3-ounce America Virtue coin. You could see how thick this thing is with any approved and new plans. So make sure you bring up my name or go to lisahavengold.com. Fill out this information here. Click email me my wealth kit and they will send you an absolutely free wealth protection kit. It's one way to also get involved and get free information on gold, silver, and precious metals. And by the way, you can also get IRAs backed by gold, silver, and precious metals at Noble Gold Investments as well. If you want more information, click that more button if you're on your cell phone or click the link in the description box below. And by the way, there's always a risk to investing. There's never a guarantee. All right. So diving in a little bit more to what is going on with Donald Trump and Pam Bondi, here's the deal. She's been at a lot of the events, but as you saw in the article, she did not go to Mar-a-Lago. This tells me that there's probably some tensions between Pam Bondi and the Trump administration. Now, Donald Trump has come out and publicly backed her. In fact, in that same article that I was just on the Daily Mail, here's what the White House responded regarding all of this. It says, the White House was quick to defend the AG, sending quotes to the Daily Mail from the president, from the VP, from Wiles, and the press secretary, Caroline Leavitt, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio. So basically, they got multiple responses sent, but Rubio, Wiles, and Bondi all cut their teeth in Florida politics. And here's what Trump said in the statement to them. Pam is doing an excellent job. She has been my friend for many years. Tremendous progress is being made against the radical left lunatics who are only good at one thing, aka election and all of that, and the crimes they commit. The statement Donald Trump said in a statement. So Donald Trump is publicly backing her, but behind closed doors, I absolutely do not see that happening. Look, let's just be honest. She hasn't come through really any of us. I don't know about you guys, but I'm not happy with the job that Pam Bondi has done. No one has been arrested at all that is of any relevance. I mean, we've got cases just dropping out of the sky, but we have this one right here on thehill.com, and it's titled Judge Dismisses DOJ Criminal Cases Against James Comey and Letitia James. Now we know that the DOJ attempted to go after James Comey, and here we have this, and that fell through as well. Senior DOJ prosecutor fired after unwillingness to prosecute James Comey. So we have all of that. They can't even start prosecuting any of the people that literally committed crimes. And we're talking about some pretty major crimes that if you and I had committed any of those regarding the Russia collusion hoax, regarding, some of the things that we've really honed in on in the past, all of the crime, the corruption, the fraud that we've seen in Minnesota, if any of us did that, we would have been in jail immediately. But it doesn't seem like Pam Bondi is able to do her dang job. In fact, there's a lot of MAGA people not happy with her, me being one of those, by the way. And here's this, thelist.com. The member of Donald Trump's cabinet that even MAGA fans can't stand, and that would be AKA Pam Bondi. And it says this was made abundantly clear in a poll taken during Turning Point USA America Fest in late December 2025, which asked conservatives to rate the job performance of Trump cabinet members. In the poll shared by Charlie Kirk show producer Blake Neff on X, only one person received double-digit disapproval ratings. That is Attorney General Pam Bondi, with 29% of respondents either somewhat or strongly disapproving of her performance. It's clear that her endless brown-nosing hasn't exactly endeared her with Trump voters. The reason I don't like Pam Bondi is she's not doing her dang job. No one has been arrested for crimes that have actually been committed. If you go back to the Biden administration, we had all kinds of people arrested by the Biden administration, but we can't seem to do the same, which, in other words, if Pam Bondi doesn't end up doing her job, when Democrats get back in, they will be emboldened to arrest more people because they get a free pass and we don't. This is why this is such an important thing for you and I. On another note, There's more tensions flying at the White House, a lot more infighting there as the DOJ opens an investigation into Powell. DOJ opens probe into federal PALs, drawing backlash from lawmakers. This is on Politico. And here's just kind of a brief of that. The Justice Department has opened a criminal investigation into Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell's statements to Congress regarding renovations of the Fed's headquarters in Washington. As you know, the price was one thing when they started and then basically nearly doubled by the end of it. And the Trump administration is saying, hey, what's going on with this? However, there's one kicker to this, and that's that Donald Trump is saying he had no idea that there was going to be a probe on him. In an interview with NBC, Trump said he didn't know anything about the DOJ investigation. No, I wouldn't think of doing it that way, he said. What should pressure him is the fact that rates are far too high. That's the only pressure he's got. The DOJ sent grand jury subpoenas to the Fed on Friday regarding his statements to Congress on the central bank's headquarters. So obviously there's some tensions between Donald Trump, the Fed, the DOJ, the Fed, and the whole 9 yards. But speaking of that, we also have Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, who kind of got involved in the whole Fed thing. And this is really, there's a lot of tensions unnecessarily happening within the Trump administration right now, but I want you guys to be aware of all of it. But Bessett's, and this is on Daily Mail, Bessett's late night call to Trump over economic mess as rogue prosecutors spark chaos. And here's what it goes on to say. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent called Donald Trump late on Sunday to warn that the Justice Department's probe into the federal chair, Jerome Powell, has, quote, made a mess. Powell had just hours earlier in an extraordinary video message accused Trump of using the threat of prosecution to pressure the Fed into lowering interest rates. He was subpoenaed Friday over a $2.5 billion renovation of the Fed's headquarters. I believe it was only estimated to be about 1.9 originally, right? So this is a massive amount of money. I think it's worth questioning, quite frankly. And I really think that's why the DOJ is going after that. But again, Trump said he had no knowledge of it. It goes on that Bessent fears market turmoil. In the phone call with Trump, he said, the secretary isn't happy, and he let the president know, a source familiar with Bessett's late night call told Axios. So we've got this call to Trump. Apparently, Scott Bessent is not happy with what's going on with the DOJ and Jerome Powell, and he's letting Donald Trump know about it. And in fact, Jeanine Pirro is the one who launched the investigation and didn't inform the Treasury Department, but they're claiming that she went rogue, if you will, and this is all around the mounting tension with Pam Bondi, by the way. So that's kind of what is going on with all of that. So there's lots of tensions within the White House. You've got the Treasury Secretary not so happy with Trump. You got Trump not so happy with Pam Bondi. You've got the MAGA crowd not happy with Bondi at all. So I think there are going to need to be some changes within Donald Trump's administration, and changes real soon, because otherwise this could very well rip portions of the administration apart. And if they don't start making some kind of arrests, I think you're going to tick off a whole lot of other people. But with all of that, I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in the broadcast. I love each and every single one of you. Can't wait to read your comments on this. I'm Lisa Haven, signing out.